Hello folks, welcome to Outdoors with Bud. I'm your host, Bud Fields. You know, I've had a lot of people contact me about the Jim Moose Carden's Kids Fishing Clinic, and a good friend of mine, Mr. John Martino, he ran that thing, and it existed for 40 years. And that was just one of the biggest staples and made Kokomo very popular. And if you've lived around Kokomo, you've had to been experiencing it. And sadly, John, after 40 years, decided to retire, and I think he deserves a rest. And a lot of people were kind of disappointed that they were losing the Kids Fishing Clinic. So my good friend and my guest today, Mr. Josh Trine, he decided that they wanted to keep it going. So Josh, welcome to the program, and if you would share some information with us about what your endeavors are, and if you would like to, you can name the people that's on your board of directors.
Thanks for having me, Bud.
Sure, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure always.
So this goes back to, and it's crazy the life circle that you go through, and then life recircles. Mm-hmm. This can go clear back to even when I was in the clinic as a kid, and you was one of my boat captains. Mm-hmm. The late Ron Workman was one of my boat captains, yes. Phil Reel, several others along the way. And here we are, you know, all these years later. Mm-hmm. And either we've went through it and you guys have been boat captains and classroom instructors, and then our kids go through it, and it constantly recircles, and it's such a amazing youth program for right. Our community. And, you know, like you touched on, John was tired. Everybody else that worked with John was tired. Mm-hmm. They deserved to retire and go out, you know, in style the way they did. But we felt it's such a prominent thing for the youth in our community that, man, surely we can continue this some way. We can figure it out. Mm-hmm. We've been around it all these years. So back in December, we met with John and Peggy Martino and Jeff and Bernadette Fager, mm-hmm. and kind of got the ball rolling, and they were all about us taking on a new one. And so we developed a board of directors, and so we started building ideas and looking at the past and what had went on in the past and what was really great, and maybe we should tweak this a little bit or change this a little bit.
Right.
And so we got it rolling there in January, and here we are, first bit of April, and it's going extremely well so far.
Oh, that's great. Well, you know, a lot of people don't realize it, but in 1999, the Jim Moose Carden's Kids Fishing Clinic was inducted into the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame. And of the 40 years of it, even back before Moose passed away, I was active as a boat captain and a classroom instructor. And like Josh was saying, how it's kind of come full circle, because a lot of times I would be up there talking to the kids in the class. And now I could look out there and see those kids are now parents, and now they're kids, second and third generations of the Kids Fishing Clinic. And it was really great. But I know, helping John through the years, that every year it seems like it was a little bit more challenging. I mean, a lot, like you mentioned, a lot of the boat captains and the instructors were getting older and declining in health. I mean, like myself, I've had issues. I no longer have a boat, and I really enjoyed it, being able to help those kids, because the kids are the future of our fishing world. And not only that, but anything in life. And to see these kids coming back, bringing their children, and that's really something. And I applaud you guys for your efforts and concern that you would like to have it going. Mm-hmm. And I understand that they are changing the name of the program.
Yes, sir. So when the previous clinic retired, the name retired with it. And mm-hmm. I do want to say thank you to the Carden family for all those years, and
wonderful people,
everybody that's been involved with it. Mm-hmm. But out of respect, we went along with the retirement of that name. Mm-hmm. And so we all started talking, and we was going to kind of leave it something to do with Kokomo Kids Clinic, but it kind of seemed similar to the other one name-wise. And then we thought, let's add in Chapter 2 or 2.0, and then it kind of gave the feeling of trying to one-up the other clinic.
Yeah, right.
And we're absolutely not doing this because of that. We're doing this simply for the kids and to keep such a great youth program going. So we came up with the Howard County Kids Fishing Clinic. And we have had some questions since we named it that. That does not mean that you have to be a resident of Howard County to either be a kid in the clinic or a sponsor or a boat captain or a volunteer. It's just the name, because we've got a lot of people, up here, Galveston, Walton area, people around the Tipton area, Greentown, Rushville. Even though they're in Howard County, they're still, it's quite the big area that is involved in this.
Now you're going to have this basically, having it at the Kokomo High School South Campus like it has been in the past.
Yes, sir. And I kind of touched on this a little bit with when I was on mail call with KI. Goats and cattle, they are ruminants. So they have 4 sections of their stomach. Also with our hearts and their hearts, there's sections of the heart that make the heart. And, you got multiple valves going which ways. And so we like to think of it as and even with a star, you could look at it that way. The centerpiece is the kids. That's the most important part of this. But what makes this work and go, there's 4 kind of critical pieces, and generally somebody is involved in one of those pieces. The first one that we like to think of is Kokomo High School and Kokomo School Corporation.
Right.
Again, back to when I was in it in the early 90s, it was at Kokomo High School then. Where it originally started classroom-wise, I can't speak on that, but even with me, it was at Kokomo, and it's been at Kokomo all these years. And they took us in with open arms and said, yeah, we'd love to continue doing this. So
I think the first one may possibly have been at Rogers
Pavilion and Park.
Of course, my memory's slipping bad too, but I believe that's what it was.
So yeah, the Kokomo High School is the first huge part of that. And that's where all the classroom nights are, the casting practice, the guest speakers.
Right.
Those 5 nights are at Kokomo High School at Berkeley and Lincoln. And then kind of the second part of this, which is huge, is the sponsors and donations. A lot of people maybe don't realize that we don't have a money tree to just go, picking money off of to buy the products and gear for the kids. So without all the sponsors and donations, this also wouldn't be possible. And we've got people that can only, do $20 or $50, but we've got sponsors clear up to $2,000, and we appreciate them all. We love them all because, again, we can't do it without them.
Now, would you like to mention a few of your corporate sponsors?
Yeah, we can go through that. It's quite a list so far.
Yeah,
honestly,
but always got room for more. Yeah.
Expressions Silk Screen and Design Company, Meg Massey with American Family Insurance, Green's Taxidermy, Indiana American Water Company, IBW 873, First Farmers Bank and Trust, Bonnie's Tax Service, the City of Kokomo, the Indiana DNR, Coca-Cola Bottling of Kokomo, Fastenal, Croom Evans Insurance, Martin Wrecker Service, Graves Sheet Metal, Best One of Indy, Wunderlich Landscaping, the Jim Muscardin Kids Fishing Clinic, Community First Bank, Dan's Variety Bakery, Latitude 40 Auctions, Miller's Beauty Bar, McCormick's Printing, McCool's Flooring, UAW 685 Union Hall, Duck Commander, Eric's Chevrolet, Kokomo Glass, Trine's Nuisance Control, North Central Outdoor Power, Caldwell Monument Company, Top of the Line Auto Detail, Kokomo Grain, Texas Roadhouse, Woody's Food Stores, American Treetop LLC, CJ's Car Wash, the Workman family in memory of Ron Jingles Workman, Riverside Sporting Goods, Indiana Heartland FCU, Josh's Washes.
That's fantastic, and maybe you can even get a few more. I know John always was a very, very humble man, and of course I knew Moose Carden because he didn't live too far from me, and I had the pleasure of fishing with that old boy, and he was always a lot of fun. And John, people would, like I say, he was very humble, and he did not want any of the attention or the praise. And he always said, if it wasn't for the volunteers,
right,
it would not happen. And I mean, I don't know what all I could do to help, but I want you to know that I'm just a phone call away or
right,
an email away or anything I can do to help. I'd be more than happy to do that, because I'm 80 years old now, but I started out as a kid. And one of the most fun I ever had was when I went fishing. I remembered the first fish I ever caught. I remembered when my kids were born and they caught their first fish. And it's so rewarding to be a boat captain. And, you know, some of these kids that's going to be participating are from broken homes, and there's a good possibility that they've never even experienced the fun that you and I have,
right,
of going out catching a fish. And when that kid comes up to you and gives you a hug, if you don't get a tear in your eye, I think there's something wrong.
Oh yeah,
you know. But it's unbelievable, folks, and the volunteers. And if somebody is interested in volunteering, I'm sure you can get a hold of Josh or me, and I can give you some information how to contact Josh if you are interested, and especially boat captains. There's an event that they always have at the end of it. It's the graduation tournament. The kids get to go out in the boats, normally like 3 hours?
Yeah.
3 hours. And we've had in the past, over 200 kids involved, and it's hard to get people to volunteer to go out there. Some people don't want you getting in their boats. Some people are tickled to death. But if you are a boat owner and you would like to donate 3, maybe 4 hours to help these kids go out and enjoy the fun of fishing, get hold of me or get hold of Josh, and we'll put your name on the list. And would you want to give any contact information? Or
yeah, for sure. You can call me at 765-438-6551 or email at joshtrine, all lowercase, at the number 16 at gmail.com. Or you can, if you know some of our board members, more than welcome to call them or contact them, as we're all a team and we work this out as a team.
And if you've got any, like maybe you're like myself, you're getting older now, and you've got a whole bunch of fish and tackle that you're not going to use, if you want to donate any of that stuff, they give nightly door prizes out. And every kid that signs up that gets into this fishing clinic, you want to tell them what they get?
Yeah. Let me finish up on that heart part before I forget the rest of it.
All right.
But, kind of the third part of that, a lot of people don't realize it, but the Indiana DNR is obviously involved.
Sure.
But the Kokomo Reservoir is the city of Kokomo and Indiana American Water Company. So those big three combined allow us to have the tournament.
Right.
And as you touched on, the boat captains, and John referred to them as the heart and soul of the fishing clinic. And that's not wrong, because they are a part of the heart and soul. But the boat captains allow those kids to go on a boat and be there for 3 hours fishing, compared to a bank tournament, which nothing's wrong with bank fishing, but some of these kids, that's the only boats they ever go on.
Right.
Is at that fishing clinic. But so yeah, with the clinic, what these kids receive, and it's on opening night. It's called Joe Ford Night. Brand new gear. They get a Zebco 33 rod and reel combo. They get a brand new life jacket, a 5-gallon bucket, a snap stringer, a tackle bag with 2 tackle boxes in it, a fishing towel, and a Kids Clinic t-shirt. That's all guaranteed gear that they get on Joe Ford night. And then night 2, 3, 4, and 5, at the end of those nights, the last half hour is the door prizes. And that's what you were touching on there. So each kid will get, we're figuring right now at least 2 door prizes throughout the 2 weeks, maybe more.
Now, you want to give the dates and everything on the registration. So, and by the way, if you're a parent and if you're interested in getting your kid involved in this, just like the graduation tournament, it'll be held at the Kokomo Reservoir close to Greentown. Now, there's going to be probably all different types of boats. In the past, there was even a couple pontoons. If there was a child or anybody that was there that was physically challenged, they could go out on a pontoon. But there could be some high performance bass boats, and there may be aluminum rowboats, but these people are donating their time and their efforts to take those kids out to have a good time. But just because they've got these high performance bass boats, it's always been in the past that they will not operate over idle speed. There will not be any 50, 60, 70 mile an hour running on that reservoir with the kids in the boat. It's going to be strictly idle. And it's fantastic to see all these people show up with their boats and watch those kids go out. But Josh, if you would give us the dates of the clinic, and if they're interested, how many people are you going to accept on the first year, and cover the registration for everybody that's interested?
Okay. So registration will be Wednesday, June 4th at 6 p.m. At the UAW Union Hall, 685 on Hopper Street. We are taking the first 100 kids to get signed up, 7 to 14 years old. We did change that in the past. It was 6 to 15. We've changed it for a few different reasons, but that's now 7 to 14. And that's the sign-ups date, June 4th. It's on a Wednesday evening at 6 p.m.
Okay. Golly, is there anything else we need to?
Yes.
How are we doing on time? Okay.
So the 2 weeks of the clinic, again, opening night is now referred to as Joe Ford night. That's Monday, July 21st, and all 5 nights at the school is from 6 to 9 p.m.
Okay.
The second night is Tuesday, July 22nd. The third night is Thursday, July 24th. The fourth night is Tuesday, July 29th. The fifth night is Thursday, July 31st. And then the tournament morning is August 2nd at 7 a.m. at the Kokomo Reservoir Park.
And that's really something, folks. If you've never seen it, I think a couple of times there at WWK, I was out there doing a little bit of remote talk to some of the people in the weigh-in and everything. But these kids are going to have a blast. I guarantee you that it's going to be something that they'll probably want to do it again and again. And it's going to be a good time. And they're going to have the big picnic and everything.
Yeah, we've got a big cookout. So tournament morning, the boats start rolling in about 4:30, 5 a.m. You see all the boats head across over to the park, and then we go through a prayer and sing the national anthem, and then the boat captains get hats, T-shirts, door prizes, and then we release the kids, 2 kids per boat, per boat captain, and they fish from around 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Right.
And then they come back into a professional style weigh-in where they are first place is awarded 7 to 10-year-olds, 11 to 14-year-olds for most fish, biggest fish, and most weight. There will also be 2 new awards, the Joe Ford Award and the Mental Attitude Award winner. And after the weigh-in, there's a giant cookout for approximately 600 people.
Right. Oh, and that's really something. And it's really something I was really proud of. It was a 40-year program, and I think I was involved in it for at least 35 years of that. And it's something that I will always remember. A lot of these kids that I took out, I might run into them at the mall, and like I say, they're growing up and they got their own families now, but they still remembered me, just like Josh when I had him out there. And you never know. One of these days, I mean, we're not going to be here, but these kids are going to be making memories, and they'll always remember that first fish. And anything else you think we need to discuss? I know we're probably overlooking something, but
I just want to make sure that everyone knows that we cannot do this without everybody.
right.
You know, it's just like here, it's your home, you and your family and your cameraman. You don't have to do this.
No.
But you're doing this for the kids,
Right.
to get this out, because everyone for a while thought that, okay, the clinic's done and then we've started this back up. So the more we can get it out, the better.
Yeah.
Again, it takes the school, all the sponsors, volunteers, boat cap. It takes literally everyone to make this a go.
Right. And it's a very worthwhile cause.
So I do want to express thank you for everyone that has been involved up to this point.
Okay, folks. Well, that's it. I want to thank Josh. Josh, it was a pleasure
Yes,
to
sir.
have you, my friend.
Thank you for having me, bud.
It's always an honor. And folks, if you're interested, write those dates down, and you can get hold of Josh. And thanks for coming in here, and we'll see you on the water. Goodbye.